Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Monday, September 12th, 2022, and tonight I'll be sharing paranormal news. As always, you can find all of the episodes of the podcast, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those on the show or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And we can work around whatever schedule we need to get that done. Haven't had any submissions in quite a long time. That's a hint, but obviously, only if you're comfortable. And as I always say as well, names are not necessary in terms of sharing them in whatever we talk about or whatever I read on the show. So please, if that's what you're concerned about, please don't worry. I've done it before. I've kept names private. And so that's just the stories are more important than the names. The experiences are more important, just so that people know that they're not alone. So tonight I'll be doing something a little bit different with the news, in that every so often I get these articles in my news feed alert system. That are lists of places that are said to be haunted in certain areas. And I've never really used them before, but I get them so often, I figure might as well do that here once in a while. Just make a whole show out of it. And so we're going to try that tonight, see how that goes. And if I like it, then we'll keep on doing that here and there as they become available. These stories don't pop up every week necessarily or all the time. So this will just be here and there when it works for the when it works for the show. So let's see here. Just looking at this, everything looks okay so far. All right. So thank you all as always for listening, whether you listen to the live streams or the podcast or YouTube feeds. And I believe that takes care of everything. For now, I've already gone over the schedule for the week and last night's show, so I will move on here. I've already put all the links to the articles I'll be talking about in the stream chat, and I will include them in the episode descriptions as well on the podcast and YouTube feeds. So this first article is from timeout.com. And the title is, let me find it again. Okay. The most haunted Airbnb properties in the US. So I haven't really looked through these articles yet, so I'll just be going through this and kind of finding things out along with you all, I guess. Kind of ran short on time tonight, so that's part of why we're doing this as well. And just for anyone that doesn't know, these are places that are rented out. A lot of times they're homes, and but they can be rented out for certain periods of time. But so there are places, some of these places that are said to be haunted. And what's really weird now is that some of these, this is actually an attraction now for some people. And I have to say it would be for me as well. I'd be curious about the locations. So I would want to check them out myself if I could. So I don't blame anyone for it. I just think it's really amazing that it's come to that now, where this is not completely accepted by everybody, but it's growing, that the acceptance of maybe there's strange things going on out there. It seems to be growing a little bit. At least I hope so anyway. Maybe more than a little bit biased there, I guess you could say. But so let's see here. I'm looking through the article, and this is, let's see here. Okay. So this appears to be a, huh. I ran into an issue here with this article. I may need to revert to an earlier version of it to get to the, apparently it's one of those, I hadn't noticed, it's one of those slideshow based articles, apparently. And this article is by a few different people, and it's from just a few days ago. So let's see here. Okay, yeah. So I was trying to read the article in a easier mode, but it wouldn't let me, so had to go back to the original. So this is the first location on this list is the Civil War Field Hospital in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And this property, the barn and the farmhouse on this property were used as a hospital, again, as the title says, in Gettysburg. And apparently there have been sightings and footsteps even, and then people seeing men dressed in Confederate soldier uniforms. And let me see here. So that's the main reports from there. Just let's see here. Yeah, so sightings and even the and then footsteps, multiple apparitions. But the amazing thing too in this place here says that according to the owner, it's not anything threatening. So so that's a neat little location there, historical definitely. And these articles will also have pictures as well. And then, of course, there's links to actually rent these places. So this next place in this article is a house in New Orleans. And I never know if I'm saying that right, so I apologize if I'm not. In Louisiana. And in this one house, there's a ghost of a young girl in a yellow dress. And let's see here. Okay, so this house is known as the Parks Bowman Mansion in the Garden District of New Orleans. And oh, this is odd. So apparently there's only one room at this location that is said to be haunted. And it's said to be the youngest daughter of the house's original owners, who was buried on the grounds in the 1890s. And let me see here. So apparently, again, there's footsteps and humming of lullabies that is heard in this girl's voice. And even this is odd. Apparently, pairs of glasses go missing. Like people's glasses that they wear for their vision go missing, supposedly because of her extreme shyness. So she's literally trying to not be seen by the people there. That's odd. I wonder what there is to that, or how that works, or if that's accurate. That's some intelligence right there, if that's the case, if that is really going on there. So I'll go through one more here in this article, and then I will move on. I'll move on to the next article. Hello, APOC. You walked in when. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Um, but yeah. So uh, this article is really neat. It has some. It has really quick entries in each place, but it's amazing how many similarities you can find in all these places. So this next location is in Savannah, Georgia, and it's an 18th century cottage, and it's known as Laura's Cottage, located in Savannah's landmark historic district. And apparently, there's an apparition that is seen there that no one really knows about for sure, a lot about for sure. But it's of a woman, and apparently, she's seen tending to the garden that's outside the place. Um, and then reports have included windows opening on their own and lights mysteriously turning off and on. So, um, another neat sighting there. So there's more places on this list. I'm just checking to see how many. Yeah, there's several. There's several of them here. So we'll just leave that for the rest of you to all look at on your own later. I don't want to. Yeah, there's 13 places in this article alone. So move on to the next one. This next article is from KDVR, and that's Denver. And this article is the title is 5 Haunted Denver Spots to Prepare You for Spooky Season. And of course, they mean Halloween time of year, which is, of course, my favorite. And Halloween, of course, will be the 2-year anniversary of the start of the podcast. So that will be amazing as well. We'll do a special show, even though it'll be on a weekday, so I don't think it'll go super long, but it'll still be fun. Maybe we'll do a call-in show. That could be fun again. So yeah, this article is talking about locations in Denver, and so let's see where the first one is. So this is apparently this doesn't have like a special name to it. It gives an address I'm not going to give. But this building was constructed in 1891. It was okay. So what was once known as the Croak Patterson Mansion. um, and let's see here. It's according to the history page. Let's see here. Okay, so the name of the place was based on the names of the owners, the original 2 owners, and there have been people have been. It's basically an inn, or it was an inn for a while, and reports that there have included hearing the barking of a pair of Doberman dogs, believed to be the spirits of a pair of them that were trapped in the second floor. But also according to tours that have been done there, there have been reports of people hearing a mother and her baby in the basement. So let's see here. And that seems to be let's see here. Okay, so there's also another apparition seen uh that apparently helped a guest at the location who was pregnant a pregnant woman trying to get comfortable while sleeping. Apparently, she reported being helped by a ghostly figure that helps her get into the most comfortable position before just vanishing. Um, so that's an odd one right there. That's physical contact. So, let's see here. do one more, and then we'll go on to the last article here. And this one is the Oxford Hotel. And this is in Denver. And the construction of the hotel apparently was due to the combination of the efforts of three businessmen in Denver who basically thought that the long walk to from the Union Station to the other existing hotels there was too far. So these three businessmen put their money together and had this hotel built right by the station. And there are two main reports coming from this location, one from a room and one from the bar. Apparently, as far as the room goes, it says that some single men who have stayed in the room have felt a pulling on their arms from unknown forces. And also, these same forces that can't be seen have also ripped bed sheets off of some of these men who are trying to sleep there. So that's not so fun. I wonder what the story is behind that. The other thing that happens there is a sighting of a postal worker in an older uniform. And so he is heard to be muttering when he appeared there, and he appears there. And he's talking and saying, "The children, I have to get the gifts to the children." And he supposedly drinks a beer and then exits the place. And the story behind that, according to a local tour group, is that in the 1930s, there's this postman who traveled from Denver to Central City to deliver Christmas gifts, but never made it due to weather, apparently. And so that's odd as well. So there's more places that they talk about in this article, so definitely check it out. Again, there's some pictures in here as well. So this last article talks about Florida. So these locations, let's see here. This one says, don't go alone. 10 creepy places to visit in Florida. And of course, we'll just go through a few of these places here. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. So, and I would love to read these entire article or talk about all these places and all these articles, but my gosh, I don't think I can physically do it in one show. So definitely check out these articles for the entire text and everything and details. So let's see here. I'm just scrolling down a little bit. This first one is in St. Augustine. That town is known as one of the oldest cities, and I forget now just if it was the oldest but I know for sure it's one of the oldest in the country. And this first place they're talking about was a fortress. Castillo de San Marcos in St. Augustine. And this place is known as one of the most haunted places in the country, supposedly. Again, I always wonder about how that's determined, but anyway. The history of this place goes back to the Florida War when it was used as a military prison. Mentions that hundreds of prisoners were kept there and, of course, not treated well. Apparently, visitors often have strange feelings, see strange images, or even feel cold hands touch them while they're in the dungeon. There have been sights of a Spanish soldier standing at the edge of the fort and looking out to the sea as well. So, let's see here. This next one is Villa Paula in Miami. And this is apparently, let me see here. They keep on saying these are one of the most haunted places and this and that, so trying to skip through all that. But apparently people, when they take pictures of themselves at this location. Okay, I covered this in an earlier episode actually. But this wasn't mentioned, I don't think, in that earlier article. When they take pictures of themselves, there's another figure in the picture, and that seems to be of a single-legged ghost of Paula, which is the wife of the consul that was there, who passed away after a leg amputation went wrong, it says. And people there have reported strange activity there for years. Apparently, this has been turned into a theater, or at least part of it, anyway. And let me see here. So this is that place I talked about this in the earlier episode. The idea of how do places become haunted, and is it based on historical events or not? And in some cases, it appears to be not so much, and yet there's still activity there. So people there report seeing apparitions of a woman in a long white gown wandering through the building. And and of course people connect that to this the woman that we just talked about there. So there's also a spirit of a man there who worked in the theater as a someone there doesn't the word they say doesn't really make sense. I don't know. But it says that and he loved the place so much that after he passed, his spirit is still seen there, especially in the projection booth, which was his favorite part of the theater. So, and I've often wondered about that in certain cases where we try to imagine what the perfect place would be for to go to after someone passes, and I wonder sometimes it is locations that are here and not so much some kind of a traditional vision of an afterlife. Maybe that it is some form of heaven in these places that these spirits are seen in, and they're not there because they're trapped. They're there because they want to be. So there's more locations in this article, another 7, as I said. So definitely check out the rest of this article. So and that covers everything for this episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. I did. It was fun to look through some of those places and talk about them a little bit. And as I find more of these articles, I will save them, and we'll do this kind of an episode every so often when there's enough material for it. So, thank you all for listening, and tomorrow night I'll be back with true paranormal stories from the web. So I will talk to you all then on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.